You sure do like to share your opinions, talking big like somebody's listening. Nobody's listening.
Max! Oh!
Hit the ignition. Now you listen. Hop up in the window. Smaller and smaller, you fade down. Hop up in the window.
$14, 11, 95. It is the winning scoreline in this week's finals. We had a much better finals week in weeks 2 and 3 than week 1, where we had all blowouts. But week 2, we had 2 amazing games. Week 3, the first prelim wasn't such a great competition after halftime, but the other prelim delivered at the MCG. The Lions broke their curse. So yeah, Sydney broke their curse against the Giants. Hadn't beaten them in the finals at all. Brisbane smashed Carlton. It should have been more, but they missed some easy shots. But they got that problem correct in following games. Hawthorn won their first finals game since they last won the Premiership. And Geelong absolutely embarrassed Port Adelaide in their own backyard. And then the GWS Giants were leading by 44 points against the Lions in the third quarter. Surely they would hold on. No, the Lions came back against all the odds. And they are the only top 4 team left. Port Adelaide beat Hawthorn in a thriller by 3 points. Very close game. Ports could not get the job done against Sydney. And the Lions got the job done against Geelong. And now we got the Swans against the Lions. Somebody will get redemption. The Swans in 2022 who got smashed, or the Lions who lost by just 4 points last year. This could be the Lions' last chance. Maybe the Swans' last chance, but I think the Swans less likely because they got a very good list that has age on their side. But regardless, this is a final about redemption. Somebody will get redemption. It seems like both teams have broken curses. Sydney had not beaten Port in 8 years. They had not beaten the Giants in the finals in 3 attempts. They beat both of them. 27 points down to the Giants, 44 points down. 27 points down to the Giants. Came back and won last quarter. I was thinking of the Brisbane game. Sorry, that's the wrong team. And then hadn't beaten Port in 8 years. They dispatched of them. And then the Lions, who didn't finish top 4. You have to consider that they won like I think 4 games, 3 or 4 games in their first. Sorry, wait, they won. Sorry. So they won 14 games. The Lions. They won 14 games. 10 of those after their second bye round. Think about that for a second. After their second bye round, 10 of their 14 wins. They won 10 out of 12 at the end of the season. They had won 4 games before that. Their season looked like it was over. It was dead and buried. They couldn't play 4 quarters. They were terrible in most games. At least for the whole game anyway. They play well for like a couple quarters, then fall off. Their season was over. But something happened after the bye round because they came back more like the team they were last year. And the comeback they've made has been nothing short of incredible. To be in the grand final right now after the first half of the season they had is crazy. But here they are. They've made it. And meanwhile, Sydney, obviously, they've been dominant most of the season. They were the best team for most of the season. They did have a losing streak for a few weeks, but they recovered from that one the last few games and then broke a couple curses in the finals. Both teams have broken curses. The Brisbane Lions broke an MCG curse. Maybe they haven't broken it, maybe just one game, but obviously I would still consider that kind of, maybe not a curse broken, but a curse they managed to deal with because the MCG, especially in close games, they don't do too well in. And it looked like they lost at one point when Geelong scored with 2 minutes left, but Brisbane had other ideas. They have had issues with inaccurate kicking, and they didn't let that cost them in this game. They were very good, especially the last 2 goals. Brilliant accuracy, I'll tell you that. Great goals. Both teams scored some great goals in that game, to be fair. And Sydney, obviously they stormed their way to the grand final. So this is a game where I don't mind either team winning. I do like the Lions more. I like the Lions the most after my own team, Hawthorn. Last year, I really wanted them to do it. Literally last year, I was there for finals week 1. I was in Melbourne for Collingwood Melbourne and Carlton Sydney. I could have stayed in Melbourne and watched GW St Kilda. I didn't. Instead, I woke up on about 3 hours sleep. I flew to Brisbane just to watch the Lions play Port Adelaide. I like the Lions quite a lot. So, after last year, against a team I don't like, they lost only by 4 points. They were so agonizingly close. I think my heart wants the Lions more than Sydney. But if Sydney won, I would not be angry or I would not be upset about it, because I don't mind the scenario of Sydney winning because of how they lost to Geelong 2 years ago. I wouldn't mind seeing them get some redemption for that, and I think it would be a great story. But either way, regardless of what happens, regardless of who wins, this is a great story. Either Sydney pull off their redemption season from 2 years ago, or Brisbane pull off their comeback story. It's just like, this is, for me, the perfect grand final would be Hawthorn beating Geelong. But obviously Hawthorn can't be there. This, apart from Hawthorn, this is pretty much the best grand final. Apart from, to be fair, I think I would have preferred GWS Brisbane, to be honest. But still, out of the two prelims, this is my favourite grand final. I like this. I like this a lot. I'm very intrigued. I think Port Brisbane would have been good as well, because it's a grand final rematch. I didn't want the other grand final rematch, to be honest with you. I didn't want Sydney Geelong, to be honest. But Sydney Brisbane is very interesting, and it's a good story regardless. I'm looking forward to a great game, and I hope it's a great game and not a blowout. Normally in grand finals you need Collingwood to have a close game. It is true. 2023, 2018, 2010, the first game. Normally a close grand final involves Collingwood or West Coast or Sydney. 2006, 2005. This is the first interstate grand final since 06. For the second year in a row, in 2006 and 2005, Sydney played West Coast. You could argue, though, that this is technically not an interstate grand final. This is South Melbourne against Fitzroy's before they merged again with Brisbane Bears. I say, obviously, Brisbane Bears obviously were part of the equation, so that's partly also interstate, to be honest. But South Melbourne were not a merger, they were relocated. So, technically, there is a Melbourne team there. Technically. And a half. There's a Melbourne team and a half Melbourne team. Technically. I should say half Victorian. But regardless, I'm very excited. But I am going to stick with my prelim prediction video. I'm going to back the Lions. I'm going to back my heart. I do think Sydney have a better list. I do think that. And I do think if the Lions don't win this, they could go back down again next year. This could be their last chance, and maybe their players might know that. Sydney, I think, will have more chances in the near future, at least to challenge in the finals. Sydney have played 7 grand finals in 20 years. I'm gonna back the Lions because that's what my heart is saying. That's what my heart is saying. My heart is saying the Lions. It would be a great story. Even if Sydney won, that's a great story as well. So it's a great story regardless. But I'm just backing my Lions. I'm backing, not my Lions. I'm a Hawks fan. I just said my Lions. That's interesting. I'm backing the Lions because I like them a lot as a club. And I would love to see them win the Premiership. It would be the first time since the three-peat 21 years ago. So it's been a long time coming. And yeah, I'm very excited to see what happens. I look forward to it, and if the Lions win, then I can comfortably say that Hawthorn beat the flag winner. That happened last year as well, to be honest. We beat Collingwood and Brisbane last year too, so we always beat the flag winner, I guess. This is your boy Davidoff. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Share your prediction down below. Let me know why, and we can have some fun. And also, maybe we can have a bit of fun. what do you want and what do you think? Maybe what you think is different to what you want. So maybe there is a poll of a community post as well you can check. This is your boy Davidoff. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good day and goodbye.
Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're.